And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. Here with me is Don Thacker, the co-founder and director of Imagos Films, doing business as Imagos Softworks, the creator of StarMazer and StarMazer DSP. And, well, we are here to talk about the winning of the Imagos case, the closing of the case, and what happens next, what happened, all the interesting and kind of juicy details, well, as much as we can go over. So thank you, everyone. Welcome. Let me first take a moment and check with chat and see how are we doing on the stream. How are we doing on audio, video, everything look good? No fancy graphics for Dog. No, I made the intro video. I didn't make a fly-in for him. Sorry, I didn't get that far. He is a pretty enough graphic himself. He's also a little echoey. Don has recently moved to a new location in Los Angeles, I believe. Is that right, Don?
Yeah, this is our new office space this is going to be our editing suite here behind me.
So everybody let me know if you can hear Don as well. I can turn him up a little bit. It's a little echoey, but we'll get through it. So, how you doing, Don?
Great and terrible, both. I mean, the terrible is just kind of leftover terrible that's been going on for almost, I mean, wow, well over a year now. Like concentrated, and then like 2 years if you take into account everything kind of leading up to it. But great in that there's some kind of resolution as far as I understand it. I think my primary concern is that we were able to get what we initially were asking for before there was even legal stuff, just clarification and a release of claims that our copyright belongs to us. Beyond that, yeah, I mean, I explained it recently to a friend who was like, "You must be so happy," and I'm like, "Actually, you know, I was being punched in the face for like 2 years, and somebody stopped punching me in the face, or was legally requested that he stop punching, or he or she stop punching me in the face, and unfortunately, that's a cause for temporary celebration, but like having things the way they should be is not necessarily." You know what I mean? It's not. It's going back to normal.
Yeah.
In context feels great, but in reality is, yeah, we lost a bunch of money, we lost a promotion,
Yeah.
we did a whole bunch of work, and there's still arguments as to, you know, who we are and what we do. So it's good.
It's a lot different
it's positive
when you're the person in the situation than when you're watching it from the outside. You know, things happen when you watch it from the outside, but on the inside, you're stressing and worrying about it throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
So before we go over the actual settlement, I wanted to just really briefly cover, you know, what in the world has happened up till now. So I figured I'd start with a brief history. We know that Alex worked with Don mostly on music and sounds for Don's productions. Don runs a production company. He's a developer. You do video. We do all sorts of different productions. Do you want to go into that for a moment?
Well, my primary company is Imagos Films. We make films. We do feature-length films. We've done 2 of those. We're on our 3rd now, which is one of the reasons I have an office in LA now. The other thing we do to kind of keep the doors open as much as they can stay open on tiny little budgets is we do live-action game trailers for films. Live-action film trailers for games. Look at that. And you've probably seen a bunch of them. I think one of the most recent notable ones, it wasn't a trailer, it was a production. We did the Devolver Digital E3 press conference. We're already in pre-production for 2018's press conference. If you thought last year's was crazy, prepare for even more crazy. But we do that. That kind of keeps things rolling. Like I said, as much as we can roll with tiny little budgets and finicky clients and all that kind of stuff. I've wanted to make a very specific game since I was 9 years old. So we struck out into making games. I figured we had prior to making films, I was a developer for 12 years, not a game developer, a big data developer. But we decided to get our friends together and make a game. We had all the contacts doing all the video game film stuff. We've since 2013, I think the total projects we've kicked out, not including like internal corporate stuff, is like 44. live action slash multimedia game related objects. So we were fairly well ingrained in that. So we decided that it might be cool to put together a game. Now I have, like I said, limited game development experience outside of doing narrative design for a number of games. I haven't like coded games, as it were, but I have coded a lot. Way too much. I started programming when I was like 7, so there was a lot of programming in my life. So I figured that would be cool. I'd get together some friends. We'd make a cool game. Most of the friends would be related somehow to the games industry. So we did that, or we tried to do that. We're still doing it. So still making a game.
Excellent. So just to resume my history story of where we were covering, Alex signed a contract to work for you, right, on the Starr project.
Yeah.
Alex left the project before her contract was fulfilled,
Correct.
and she eventually disputed how much money / work was left on her contract. Right. The dispute was mostly over whether she was owed a final payment.
Right.
Instead of working out that dispute, she began to send numerous DMCA takedowns. She said all sorts of mean things about your company to anyone and everyone. She drummed up lots of internet hate for or against your company and against the projects and everything that you worked on. She began to, so she took down the game, she took down your videos, she took down our videos, the community's videos, she took down people's critiques. I made a video about the subject, you saw it, you hired me, but at this point everyone was pretty much broke. Alex had really done some damage here, investors had pulled out, developers had been paid what was left, but then there was nothing left.
Once the publisher leaves,
so,
it doesn't pay. If you're getting paid monthly by your publisher and the publisher walks away, you don't have money 1 month.
Yeah, this isn't like Don's, where the funnel where all the money comes into Don and then you get to distribute it out. You get paid by the, you're the developer, but they're paying, the publisher is paying you.
Right, they're paying my company, yeah.
So we asked the community for donations, and you guys came through with $18,890 in GoFundMe donations. We filed a lawsuit. We got the judge to approve a temporary restraining order. These are very hard to get. Alex was legally restrained by a court order now from sending any more DMCAs. Since then, I don't think she's sent any more DMCAs related to Imagos and stuff, so I think that's working. But then she didn't respond to our complaint, so that made things a little more complicated. I tried to default her. Then she got a response in 3 hours later after I sent the request for default.
After like
the judge just
days of time.
Yeah, after an already 60-day extension. The judge still gave her that extra time, forced us to start discovery. I scheduled a deposition, which Alex didn't show up for. She would later say that she had just not been checking or not had access to the email address she had provided to us and to the judge as her service address. So she didn't show up, but she did show up to court where the judge ordered her to show up for her deposition. So she finally appeared for her deposition 2 weeks ago Monday. I took her deposition. She maintained much of the same positions, that there was a dispute over the contract and that she really thought that that meant that she had some kind of claim to a copyright or something. About a week after the deposition, I got some very strange voicemails and emails from Alex claiming that she wants to give up, withdraw her defense, and move on. She even sent these messages to the court, to the judge's clerk, so this isn't like a secret thing. At first, I missed the messages because they were all coming right around Thanksgiving, Wednesday before Thanksgiving. But over the weekend, I was able to get a settlement agreement written up. I sent it to Alex for review. She even called me about it. We spoke on the phone. I addressed some of her concerns, but I told her that we were not budging. It was our terms or take it or leave it. And I got a signed copy back on Monday night. So we sent that, we did not send the settlement to the judge. We sent the notice of the settlement to the judge. I sent the terms for dismissal to the judge, and the judge wrote back explaining that he would dismiss the case and leave the matter open for 90 days if there was a dispute. At this point, we think everything's done, and I've called my client and I've said, "Yay, I think we're done," right, Don?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that, like 2 nights ago? That was only, what, 2 nights ago? And so we think we're done, and that's great and all that. And then, although we do think we're done, and we hope that this is the end of it, Alex has now turned her ire at the judge and has sent the judge a insulting email about how he's an idiot.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to publish that email because I don't want that to be taken too far out of context.
Right.
But we'll talk about the contents of that email.
She's also let's be clear. She's also left you a voicemail threatening further action if certain terms are not agreed to or certain actions aren't taken.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a weird settlement. I can't say I've settled a case too often and then had the defendant turn around and start making more demands.
Yeah.
But let's take a moment and let's go over the settlement. Don, I don't know how easy this will be for you. What I'll do is I'll ask you questions and things because you won't be looking at the settlement agreement unless you have the stream off to the side or something.
I'm on cellular network right now. Our office.
Oh, so you don't even want to cut into your bandwidth. You're being a trooper. Yeah. Oh, that's why there's a little bit of a choppiness. It's the cellular.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So I tried to write as best as I could a solid settlement and release agreement. And so here it is. Regarding Alex Maurer, case number yada yada in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. Settlement and release entered into as of the last date signed, called the effective date, by Imagos Films, Don Thacker, the company, and Alex Maurer, the artist, as named in the lawsuit. The company and the artist are called the parties. Why is this important? Because I use all these terms instead of Mrs. Maurer and Don Thacker and the company. And I use these instead. So recitals. These were factual recitals that are incorporated into the agreement. Artist contributed to various works produced by the company during the course of the parties' engagement. Artist made numerous claims of ownership to the company's copyrighted works, as well as various other statements regarding the company. Company filed an action against artist in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, whereas in order to avoid cost, disruption, and convenience of further dispute, the parties desire to reach an amicable settlement as set forth below. Now therefore in consideration. Specific release. Artist hereby forever releases company from any claim, including but not limited to copyright claims, that artist has or had on any and all intellectual property produced by the company, including but not limited to these following materials: Starr Mazer DSP, Motivational Growth, Beelzebuds, Melissa A Game of Choice, Duck Game, Tombstone, Sizzlefist, Potato Man Seeks the Truth, Jazz Punk, and Legend of Dungeon. Oh, and there's also Legend of Party in there too. And artist specifically releases the company from attributing her name to any of the company's works that artist has contributed to. Now, this was to address a specific concern of Alex's, where she mostly wanted to be separated from anything that she contributed to.
Great.
General releases. Granted, yes. General releases. Artist generally releases the company from any other claims artist has or had as of the effective date of this agreement. So that's no more claims, even whatever claims she thinks she has, they're gone. The company agrees to release all claims it may have against artist up to the effective date of this agreement. That means no claims, again, up until Monday, the date of the agreement. And then I included a one-way non-disparagement clause. This is a very powerful clause. Disparagement is not the same as defamation. Disparagement is much easier than defamation. If I could say truthful things, and if those truthful things disparage your company according to a jury, then you are guilty of disparagement. It's not, there really is no more to it. So artist agrees not to make or cause to be made any disparaging remarks about the company or any of the company's future, current, or former employees, contractors, agents, representatives, customers, critics, attorneys, affiliated content creators, or any other affiliates, collectively the company's affiliates, that could reasonably result in harm to the company's or the company's affiliates' reputations, images, business relationships, or goodwill. To me, this clause means that Alex can't say anything about anyone related to this in any sort of a bad way. And it's a very powerful clause, and you'll see why in a moment. Future claims enforcement. Artist agrees not to make future claims of any kind to any and all intellectual property produced by the company or the company's affiliates. Dismissal of the lawsuit. The company agrees to seek dismissal of the lawsuit without prejudice and on the condition that the court shall reserve jurisdiction over the action and any enforcement of the settlement agreement between the parties. So the court did agree to that. The court will retain jurisdiction for at least 90 days. And after that, we still have ability to reach enforcement. We just have to go to the state court. And I'm not going to go any further with this next statement, but Alex is probably well known to the state court. So I think it would be even worse for her to try and mess with this agreement and see us in county court, because that would be probably even easier for us to get what we needed there. Independent counsel. Each party acknowledges that they have received independent legal advice from their counsel or have had the opportunity to seek advice from counsel with respect to the facts and this agreement. So that says that she's making an affirmative statement that she could have gotten an attorney to review this if she wanted to. That helps us if she later tries to undo the agreement. Legal fees and costs. Each party shall be responsible for paying their respective legal expenses and costs incurred in connection herewith, and no monies will be exchanged except as otherwise provided herein. No money was exchanged in this non-confidential settlement. And that was always our expectation, that we were probably not going to recover any money from Alex. Alex did testify to me under oath that she is on Social Security disability, and although, it's possible that she could have other forms of income, it's not likely that we're going to be able to reach much without another enormous expense. So we did not exchange any money. Notwithstanding the foregoing, though, should it become necessary for company to institute a legal action to enforce any terms of this agreement, including claims for breach of any obligation, warranty, or representation, which means if anybody lied, company shall be entitled to recover from artists reasonable attorney's fees, litigation expenses, and all costs associated with any such enforcement or collection effort. In the event of any breach by artist of any obligation, warranty, or representation, company shall have the right to enforce the terms of this agreement and shall have the right to file claims seeking equitable remedies and damages under any and all available legal theories. Non-waiver. No provision of this agreement shall be adjudged waived unless any such waiver is signed by the party against whom the waiver is asserted. The waiver by any party of a breach of any provision shall not operate or be construed as a waiver of any subsequent or later breach. So if Alex said something mean to the judge, for example, and we think that's a breach, just because we don't act on it doesn't mean that we're letting it go forever or letting new stuff happen or anything. Severability, this is also important. If any part of this agreement is invalid, it doesn't make the rest of the agreement invalid. That's a normal provision that's pretty applicable even if it's not in there, but you want to put it in there always to make sure that it's clear. Entire agreement, this is also important. This is the four corners doctrine of a contract. This agreement constitutes the entire agreement between the parties. It supersedes all other understandings, all other agreements between the parties. This agreement is the agreement. No other evidence can come in to modify this agreement or anything. This is the agreement. It may only be modified after its creation by written amendment signed by each party. So only a signed written agreement can modify the agreement. The parties mutually acknowledge and affirm that they are not relying on any other outside representations or promises not expressly set forth in the agreement. The agreement may be executed in counterparts. The agreement's binding on everybody, including your heirs and successors and assigns. And Don, if you sell the company, it's still the agreement still applies to whoever you sell the company to. Jurisdiction, we're going to keep the jurisdiction in Pennsylvania, and Don may say a little bit more about my involvement in the company from here on out. She agrees to cooperate. The parties agree to cooperate fully, execute any supplementary documents. The recitals are also part of the agreement. That's not just fluffy facts. She admits those recitals, and everybody admits that they have the authority to bind, and then everybody signed it. I signed it on behalf of Imagos. Alex signed it, her IP address, and everything was recorded, and that is what I think is one heck of a solid settlement agreement. What do you think, Don?
I agree. From the beginning, I mean, I know I'm no stranger to the internet sort of royal around this particular subject, and I know that some people out there were out for blood, and some people were were out for us to get way more than just what we own. But our goal from the very beginning, from well before meeting even Leonard, our goal was to come to an agreement, and I made a number of much more lucrative agreements for Alex in the future, or that would have been much more lucrative for her in the future. I've made those before getting involved with Leonard. So my goal has never been to destroy somebody or to take somebody down a peg or to hurt anybody. I mean, I know that there's been massive stuff about who I am as a person and rumors and all this other muckraking to kind of bolster her position. But you'll notice I've said very little regarding her. I think she has an admitted health issue that needs taken care of. So I never thought it was a case of like vindictive evil, chaos, sure, but I don't think it's out. I think somebody's out to get me, but I don't think they're out to get me because they're all there. If that makes sense. As such, it's hard for me to want revenge. It's hard for me to want anything beyond what we, just a flat ownership of what we own. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, it would be great to get some kind of money back for our lost sales, to get the rest of our contract paid out that we lost with our publisher, to get Steam sales, our estimate Steam sales paid over when DSP was taken down from all this stuff. It would be great to have companies who've lost confidence in me to have confidence in me again, but I don't think there's any judgment that's going to make that happen. I think it's just stay a good person, do what we can do to make good stuff, and get done what we can get done. And I think this thing has put me through a fair amount of financial turmoil. It's been a rough time. We recently, as a couple of clients, pay/not pay, and with the case going on and everything, I've basically been scraping together dollars to pay employees who work for me. In the film industry, you work for somebody first, and then you get paid when you're done. In a lot of cases, unfortunately, when somebody gives me half up front and then never gives me the last half, or gives me, a contract that they'll only sign if they can pay all of it on delivery, I am then extending myself. Normally, Imagos has some kind of buffer for that. For 7 or so years, we had a nice buffer. So if somebody didn't pay, or if somebody paid super late or whatever, we could cover things. But as of today, I am out of pocket still trying to pay off bills that, because I incurred bills.
Yeah, you had a lawyer before me, right? And nobody raised money for that lawyer.
Yeah.
That was you.
Yeah, exactly right.
That was all you.
It's been rough. But in the end, of course, I would love somebody to say, "Oh, cool, we went through all this stuff, and you deserve a bunch of money." But do I want to take money from somebody else? No, I really don't. I don't like money being taken from me, and thus I can't imagine somebody else would want money taken from him, her, he or she. That's not a gender thing. I was trying to make a generalized statement, but I worry that everything will be taken out of context because so I'm just covering everything. Anyway, that said, I wanted to address something very clear from the beginning, which was whoa, did I just get super dark in here?
You're fine.
Okay, weird. It looks really dark in here. Cool. Oh crap, I think it's power. I think I'm losing power. That's fine.
It is California.
Yeah. That's weird. Okay. Out of my office window, if I look far enough, I can see Nakatomi Tower, which is the Fox building, which is the, if you remember from Die Hard, the tower Nakatomi Tower.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice.
It's pretty neat. Cool office space. Anyway, that said, we've never been out to get anybody, and we've never been out to take anything from anybody ever. Like, that's not a thing we would do. And the position that we've been in has been one of trying to acquiesce. The only condition we had was that our rights remain ours. So we offered money, we did all kinds of stuff, and it was always rebuked because of the argument, the ideological argument that what was our property wasn't ours. Unfortunately, that means that the only positive outcome, if we don't want to bring a hammer and be heavy hitters and spend a bunch of money to get no money and whatever else, the best outcome, I think, possible was to get, a signed agreement saying no more claims, like claims removed, all things that were said were admitted to, and all claims were revoked. I mean, as far as somebody signing a settlement that's enforceable by a judge can handle, like I said, in the last 2 days, we've already gotten emails and voicemails threatening stuff. So I don't know. It seems great today.
Yeah, yeah. So
offensive. I mean, things have been. I've picked up some weird. I don't ever want to say PTSD or whatever. There are people who get shot at for a living, and they deserve.
Sure.
All the
well, there's levels of severity there, but yeah, I understand what you mean.
I have difficulty. Like I was working with a client recently, and halfway through the conversation, she said to me, she goes, I'd like you to assure you that everything's going to be okay. You're super on edge, and you keep asking me if I'll sign this and I'll do this and whatever. And it's because I'm terrified. I don't know how things are supposed to work. I thought I had an idea. I thought
this is definitely not a typical case, a normal case. It's the weirdest case I've ever seen, but I, for some reason, always get the weird cases. So
I think the thing
I guess that only makes it worse if it's the weirdest of the weird cases.
I think the thing that sticks out for me is that we didn't need to make Starmazer. I mean, I emotionally, whatever, I needed to inside, but there was no it wasn't that we had a company that was going to fail unless we made a game, which is it's like 0.10%.
It's a huge invalidation.
Yeah.
It's like the one thing that's supposed to go right because it's pure.
Yeah. It was going
to and yet someone comes along and takes a big giant crap on it, basically.
Yeah. And it's been rough. But
And I want to address real quick. I see a few, and I've seen a few comments over the last few days that Alex really didn't get punished enough or something like that. And I get that, but follow the analysis with me. What were we going to be able to do to her? It's a civil case. It's not a criminal case. She's not going to jail. She doesn't have any money. She's ruined her own reputation. She's hurt herself in order to bring Don down with her. And what we've been trying to do is get Don out of the hole and leave Alex in it, basically. And that's where we've left it. Alex's reputation is ruined. No one is going to ever work with Alex again, except maybe by accident. I mean, no one's going to Google her name and be like, oh, look at all this turmoil this person caused. I want to work with that person. At least not without, like, years of reassurances or something. I don't know how that's going to work for Alex, but that's not our problem. And I made a solid settlement agreement that was fair enough to Alex to get her to sign it, and otherwise extremely favorable to Don and Imagos.
Yeah, I'd like to
and so that's the best we could get.
I've experienced the same thing. A lot of people. I've read everything from "oh man, you're getting screwed," all the way to "oh man, that guy is a expletive because he's giving up or whatever." But I just want my stuff back and I want to make my game. That's pretty much it. Yeah, we suffered a bunch. I don't think.
Yeah, it's not fun to be in a lawsuit. It really isn't.
Also, the idea that we were going to like get something. What would we get? Would we go get her Social Security? I don't even know if Pennsylvania allows that in that particular state. And if
no, Pennsylvania doesn't allow you to get the Social Security, so you'd have to get other income or other property. So she doesn't own a car that I know of. She's always shown up by train or by bus, or dad drove her or something. I know that she's got some kind of money. She got a tattoo or something, or she had posted something on Twitter. I forget what it was, but she had bought something. So she's got some kind of little bit of money. But even if we go after that, how many thousands of dollars are we going to spend, either of Don's money or the company's money or the game development money or your money, that you're donating? How much money are we going to spend to get how much money out of Alex? And we're talking about damage in the 6 figures here. Like, this should have been out. Everyone should have been moving on to making Starmazer 2 or whatever Starmazer the next thing was going to be with Starmazer proper. Things were going to be a lot further along now. She did some serious damage here. I don't think she could ever pay for it, even if she did have a regular job. It's a very difficult situation. It was a little bit of... I don't know why I want to compare it to North Korea. It's like you just got this threat and you can't get rid of it, but you also can't obliterate it. It wouldn't be right to obliterate it, but you got to deal with it. How do you deal with it? You just try to separate it as much as possible.
Yeah, as far as the obliteration thing goes, it all seems to be pointed at Alex. Why don't we try to hurt Alex? And I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to be hurt for sure, but I don't think my response should be immediately to hurt somebody. Like, yeah, I get it. I get that it's been the worst. I get it more than anybody else. But I, I don't think the answer is to harm another person. For the harm is, I mean, just look at the situation where the harm has been done. There's a lot of harm that's been done to Alex, not by us. That's going to continue to happen. That has nothing to do with us. We don't need it. And if I can choose to pursue to move forward and try to make cool stuff, or go forward and spend a bunch of my time, a bunch of money, and a bunch of effort, because it takes effort. It's not just put money in the coin slot and somebody gets a lawsuit. If I want to put all that into something, it's not going to be trying to bring Alex Maurer down another peg. It doesn't make any sense. That's not realistic.
It's the story of the two wolves. Which wolf do you feed? Do you feed the good wolf or the bad wolf?
Yeah, I've never heard that story. That sounds like a great story.
Oh, that is a very short story. I'll tell it now. The young brave is having some trouble, and he comes to his leader, and the leader tells him the story that you can get yourself up, you can get yourself down, you have control over your mind. There are two wolves that live inside your mind, and one is a friendly, loyal wolf. It will protect you, it will guide you, it will help you produce, it will help you hunt, it will guard you when you sleep. And the other wolf is vicious, and it tears you down, and it reminds you how inadequate you are, and it will tear you down, and it will destroy your world. And the wolves are constantly at battle inside your head, and they fight and they fight and they fight. And the young brave turns to the leader and said, well, which wolf wins? It's easy. The one you feed.
Got it. Fair.
Don't feed the bad wolf.
Yeah, feed the good wolf, everybody. That should be
feed the good wolf.
Meme. Feed the good wolf.
And I'm sure there's a much more better telling of that story, but that's the short version.
Yeah, I like it.
So the settlement is basically stronger than the TRO. It achieves our goals. It's the best thing that we really could hope for at this time. But when we wrote this and signed this, you and I both felt very weird, very odd about it. It didn't feel like we were actually closing the matter. We were sort of apprehensive that this was part of some kind of trap or some kind of ambush or something.
We had conversations about that.
And while that's not exactly what happened yet, Alex apparently couldn't control herself. And there was one final email. I haven't seen a follow-up to this yet, so we're going to follow up on this when we do. But there was one final email to the judge on Wednesday morning after the judge dismissed the case and sent out the notice that the case was dismissed. Alex wrote to the judge and called him an idiot.
Hold on. I just want to tell you, it's the day after I got everything's great, and we're moving an office, which is really hard. So we were doing that, and we kind of celebrated a little. Now we didn't do anything. We just were like, yay, it's great. We can move the office without too much worry. This is not going to be, we're not going to be embroiled in this. There's a big step forward. So then I wake up, and I got just a text message. This may not be over. Call me. And then I see the email, and it's just like, oh, God. Big mess.
Yeah, Alex writes, I'm going to paraphrase some of
this. Some of it, yeah.
She says, wow, I'm shocked. She's writing to the judge. Wow, I'm shocked. Just because I have no interest in defending myself doesn't mean I thought the judge wasn't smart. I thought the judge would shoot down the settlement for obvious reasons. It's hilarious to me that this is happening. The judge looks like an idiot. Ha ha ha. Alex.
I like the ending with the ha ha ha. Like,
I don't even know what to make of that.
It was written from a moon base or like an island.
It was written at 7:47 in the morning. I don't even know what to make of that. So if I was the judge, I would hit Alex with like contempt of court or something, but I'm not the judge, and I don't know what he's going to do. He may ignore it and hope that it's just the death rattle of the case or something. We're going to leave that alone and let the judge deal with that. There's really no point in opening that back up. But I mean, this is the level of, frankly, insanity that we're dealing with. Is that a person would go through this, settle the case, even write to the judge and say, I'm done, and then turn around and say that the judge was an idiot for not doing the opposite of what the person had been asking for? I I'm so
Yeah, it's
confused. I think it's an exercise in madness to continue to try to figure this person out.
yeah.
So that's really it. That's where we are up to today. You've moved to LA. You're starting your next your next adventure.
Well, the film
Where
has
are
moved
we?
here, and we're definitely doing some film stuff out here. But I mean, can I talk about Star Mazer for a second? Is that a thing?
Yeah, please. That's what I want to talk about. Go
Excellent,
ahead.
because that's not
What's the
gone
future of
anywhere.
Star Mazer?
That definitely paused. It definitely froze for a minute.
No, that's finally we're
Yeah,
here. We finally achieved. We
because of the case. We didn't we found an access to some dedicated Star Mazer money. It's not everything we need, but it's definitely something we can go with. And because of which, I've got a team of 3 people, 3 devs deving it while I oversee them, as was the case with our regular team. But our regular team has gone off to different pastures. Because this whole thing has been a crazy mess, and you can't just wait around for a weird lawsuit to end. So most people went on to other things. There are some people waiting to join up when I can afford them. So we'll get like some art done and all that. We've got different music and sound, obviously, all lined up. We're ready to rock. But we've been working. This is kind of hush hush. We mentioned it kind of briefly, and if you go to the Star Mazer Discord, I popped a little hint in there at one point just to to answer a question somebody asked, like, "Hey, are you guys even doing anything?" I posted a bunch of commits to our source code repository. As of just what is it, December 1st, we have done 2 months now of full-time development back on Star Mazer. So it's going.
Oh, cool.
Now that we
Excellent.
finished
2 months.
what was that?
So no, I'm gonna say this. It's been going. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Like that's awesome. That's really great to hear.
You and I kind of agreed that it looked like it was getting to an end. Like there was a potential ending. I decided to start pitching the continued development, and we achieved just enough to get some development done for the next few months for sure. And hopefully I can spin that into some more funds to get the rest of the thing done. But it's been going really well. I got a team who is the sister team / friend team to another team that I've worked with in the past. They're really great. They understand the game. They understand me. That's awesome. So it's been pretty great. It's all engine stuff and tool stuff so far, which, oh my gosh, why are you still working on that? Didn't you work on that for a year? But yes, we worked on it for a year, but it was the team I had was a bunch of friends trying to make something. Though our primary developer, though an incredible dude, and I'm sure, especially now, like 2 years later, an awesome dude in the programming sphere. He was fairly fresh with the game scene. I'd made a game that had gone out, but it was nowhere near as complex as Star Mazer, and it seems like we, after running the code through a couple of our contemporaries, we found that we had to do a bit of re-engineering to make it do what it needed to do. As efficiently and future-friendly as possible. If I'm squinting, I'm not just a pirate. The sun is right here. I'm using that as my light since we don't even have lights in the office yet, so I'm not just being a pirate. But yeah, so we found some holes, and we found some ways to make things a little bit better. We'd already worked out a kind of newer UI interface than the one we were using for our initial demo that we showed at PAX. So that's going, and as of I think 2 days ago, we were able to do a bunch of cool stuff with our new tools. And I think as soon as we get settled here in the office and we get our office reconfigured in Seattle, no matter where I am, I'll be able to do some kind of streaming. We're going to get back to Star Mazer TV, which would be very cool if you guys are a big fan of Star Mazer TV. It's probably not going to be 3 times a week. Every week until things get sped up a little bit, but it'll definitely be regular enough that there's some kind of schedule, and we'll definitely be showing development progress as we go. And also Star Mazer DSP should get a shot in the arm coming soon. If you love that game, we're at a position where we can start putting stuff back out. Pixel Jam was very... we didn't release a lot of updates since the Alex Maurer thing because the Alex Maurer thing was a major issue, and we had lost the confidence of everybody, including Pixel Jam, as to whether or not we'd come out of this with the rights to the stuff. So that game wasn't really worked on as much. We replaced all the sound and music, obviously, but beyond that, we kind of just held off until the case is as over as it can be. And I guess legally, it's over. So legally, we own all of our stuff and can continue going forward. So as that's the case, we'll very likely be more aggressive about that as well. I know that Pixel Jam also needs some money. that we were unable to get them from our publisher's last payment. So because the publisher didn't make the last payment, and it's not because they're terrible or anything. They're not. It's just that they had lost confidence in my company's ability to do stuff because my company was being pretty darkly dealt during those times.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we have a great relationship now, but they're not gonna renegotiate the contract or whatever. We're still friends. They're still publishing DSP, but that was already, the money for that was already paid out. So they're not putting any more money into anything. They'll definitely publish and sell DSP. So we didn't get the short end of the stick. We definitely got the not the longest end of that stick. But we're working on it. And I'm not. Owlboy is an incredible game that's probably more graphically impressive than any pixel-based game I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's fun, and it's one of the best games ever. It also took 10 years to make. And I'm not saying that our game needs to take 10 years to make, and I'm not saying it's Owlboy. I'm not comparing our game to Owlboy in any way. I'm just saying, time-wise, these things can take a long time. If they don't have a lawsuit in the middle of them, or if they don't have a year prior to the lawsuit of a bunch of crazy stuff happening, ours has that, and was already a complicated game. We bit a large bite, and we think we can do it. We're still confident that we can do it. I'm confident that we can do it, and the team I've got on it now is super confident that we can develop the things that I envision, and our meetings are all very positive. But time is it. It's going to take some time. We're working on it, and I mean, it's the triangle, right? The time, quality, money triangle, right? So you can have, you can go fast and cheap, but be terrible quality. It can go fast and high quality, but be super expensive. It can take forever and be high quality and be super cheap. But you can't have all three ever. That's not a thing you can do. That's just like a practical thing. You can use that in construction of buildings, to airplane engineering, to video game making, to filmmaking, to whatever. It's just kind of like what we found. And unfortunately, since money is not flowing, time. If you want quality, it takes time. It takes time and money. Yeah. So unless we can find somebody with a bankroll who wants to help us out, we've been in talks and we've been in continued talks. But honestly, all those talks seem to be kind of lip service until there's a judgment. So now that there's some kind of settlement / finality to this, we can go back to people we've been having.
You can move on. With.
But still, I mean, like I said earlier, our reputation. I literally got an email this morning, 20 minutes before this meeting. I got an email, a 3-paragraph email saying, your reputation has been tarnished, and explaining to me by a peer of mine how my company and my personal reputation have been damaged by the fiscal problem we've kind of gone through. So that's not cool to have.
No.
There. I responded with, yeah, I get it. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best, man.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm a person.
Yeah.
I
have those same issues with people who've got to keep reminding you about your failings and things like that. It's like, yeah, okay, I know it. Like, what do you want to help me fix it? You just want to tell me how crappy of a situation it is. Like, we know how crappy the situation is.
Yeah, so that's rough. But on the positive side, I think the thing to keep in mind is one thing that has kept me happy during all of this is not happy. It's kept me able to not jump out of a window or go up the street, not across the train tracks. That was a suicide reference. Man, that was dark. I'm sorry. The thing that's made me not super deep unhappy.
Demonetized.
I have spent a lot of time on a couch feeling terrible for myself and for the situation, and I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to fix it without a lawyer. Then I got Leonard, and Leonard basically said, I got it, and he took care of it. It was great. But one thing that's kind of kept me a little happy is the idea that we're still making great stuff. In the time that this has happened, we've done a whole bunch of really cool stuff. We've spun up progress on Star Mazer again. That's going really well. We've got music being made. We've got all kinds of cool stuff happening, which is fun. We've done a bunch of film stuff to kind of keep our doors open and food on our plates and stuff. And that film stuff has all been really well received. Two of them didn't pay us yet, and I'm kind of in a hole on that. But other than that, lots of cool stuff. And by the way, none of those were like Devolver or anything. If you don't speculate, I find anytime to say anything right now, there's a million speculation. And no, it was side indie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's another thing, man.
Some speculation we're not even going to mention.
I want to just say
Leslie Barbara Streisand.
I'm just a guy. I'm just trying to make some stuff.
You're just a guy. Just a regular guy.
I don't have
wants to make a game
or like a super plan. Honestly, I think that what you want to accuse me of something. Accuse me of being like the world's worst business person. I didn't have contracts the way they were supposed to be. I just thought we were going to make friends and I were going to make a game. It was going to be great.
Yeah.
I know that musical anti-hero video came out. I saw half of that just long enough to realize that was weird.
You don't need to call any more attention to that.
Good, because that was weird, man. That was some baffling stuff. It's just like I guess my question to you, the internet audience, is why can't it be that I fucked up and made some terrible business decisions in contracting my friends to do some stuff, or in not contracting some of them in some cases, and was shit at my job when it came to taking care of everybody's interests. That seems, I admit that 1,000. I admit that my artists were under a lot of pressure because I needed to get a lot of art done really fast. And I was saying, guys, do this, do that. I mean, I get all that. Yeah, that's not evil, man. That's me trying to make a video game. And that's me.
That's totally human. I don't think that you have to. I don't think that you really have to explain yourself too much there.
I know.
I think it's easy to succumb to the internet critics
I guess
who
my
may
question
speak
to the
too
internet,
soon.
though, is not to the internet. Not actually. I'm not being melodramatic.
Not obviously not everybody. Just some of the people who are a little overly critical.
Why does it have to be fucking 9/11 was an inside job? Why does it have to be we never left?
Well. Because occasionally there is a conspiracy, and it's hard to tell when they are. But
isn't there something way more interesting?
Not everything is a conspiracy.
I'm not doing anything. I'm stupid. I'm just this guy who tried to make a game this one time.
Guy who wants to make a game.
Yeah.
Is there anything that the community, aside from donating money and aside from the critics that we were just talking about, is there anything that our community, your community, my community, that we can do to help you with the game? We can be patient. That'd be good, right?
Be excited about it. If you see me at a convention or something, come up and say hi. I'm not going to set out a plot to destroy your entire artistic career or murder your family or whatever, like it seems apparently I do. I'll just be nice. We'll get a drink or something. It'll be great. I don't know. I honestly feel like social equity is important. Come to my stream, check out what we're doing. That'd be cool.
So like and share and subscribe and follow.
Yeah, do all that. The social subscriptions.
Don't contact Alex, please. Let's refrain from contacting Alex. This is a period of... I can't really go into any more detail here, but please, everybody, trust me. This is hopefully a period of healing for Alex as well. Again, we've always wanted Alex to get some kind of help. I'm not going any further into that, but this might be an opportunity for that to happen. Yeah, I continue to hold out hope that someday Alex could be
lay off of Alex.
She does not do well when she's attacked.
I am the person at this point, to my knowledge. I mean, I know there was some familial stuff before or after. I don't know, but as far as I know, I've gotten a large helping of the damage doing from Alex Maurer, and I think that I don't get it. I'm not going to say I understand it. I'm not in any way a health professional or anything. I don't understand it from there. I'm not the best friend, I suppose. I know that there were times when Alex was, I don't know. I've been told that there were signs or whatever, but unfortunately, I don't know how to read that. I'm just a person. All I'm saying is this is a human being. This is a person who has a real life and should be... Everyone's life counts, and everyone's life needs to be able to be the best that it can be. And I'm incredibly, eternally sorry that whatever series of events that took place that caused this, the Eye of Sauron to point at me in this regard. I'm sorry. I admit wholly that dude, am I super passionate and energetic when I get wound up about something? Absolutely. Can that scare somebody who's an introvert? I'm positive it has. I've seen it happen. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm guilty of that too.
It's just
that last part.
I think it's not, just as I'm not a villain on a tower ruining everybody's lives and doing all this whatever. Neither is Alex. Alex is just this person. Everybody has different ideas. Alex's ideas don't agree with a lot of our ideas. Does that mean Alex is wrong? Objectively, sure, but personally, subjectively, probably not. I don't know. If you denigrate Alex's ability to have a life and choices, you do so for yourself. I don't think that's right. I think we should support everybody. And if we see somebody who needs help, the last thing we should do is tear into that person, even if the way they're asking for help is by being what seems to be incredibly bad or incredibly.
I know that you are you're on mobile, and so you can't see the chat, but you have a lot of support in chat. A lot of people are saying that you don't even need to defend yourself. People understand. I'm not even seeing any mean messages. So I think you're real good, and I hope at some point you can, because it takes time, right? Like this just happened. While everyone else is like, oh, it's just another news bite, because it is to anyone who's not involved in the situation. To us, it's like, well, what's going to happen? Is she really done? Is she really going to leave us alone? Is this really the end? So hopefully that gets to settle in and you get to feel some real peace and relaxation on this finally.
I hope that can spread, though. I hope not just me can get that. I know that Dino has been hurting. I hope that he can feel. Oh, can I do something? This is an exclusive.
Please.
Look, sparkles and stuff.
Here, I'm going to make you big. You got full screen.
All right, guys, listen up. This is the truth. 100%. I haven't run this by my lawyer yet, so he's on stream. If he thinks it's the worst, he'll tell me. But
I'll hit the kill button.
Imagos Softworks / Imagos Films. Imagos Films as the company, not doing TBA Imagos Softworks. We've decided to set up an initiative. I came up with this initiative a couple days ago. Haven't run it by Leonard yet, but I'm sure he'll either shoot it down or modify it. Here's my initiative. It's called the Imagos Creators Initiative. If you are a content creator, a YouTuber, an artist who's worked on remixes or extensions of our stuff, anything that has anything to do with Imagos, if you've been part of that in the past or are part of it now, I'd like you to contact me directly. Even if this means you're a YouTuber who has posted videos that got taken down or wants to post videos and is worried. And what I want to do, of course, I have to run this by my lawyer, of course, but my plan is to set up a contract, a sort of informal business relationship, or I guess a formal business relationship, but informal in the case of no stock being passed or no money being passed, whatever. But we can become partners. I'd like to be partners with you. I think that would afford you all of our support, our social support, our friendship. That's great. And ultimately, any legally binding contract that potentially can stop people from attacking people who are associated with us by business. Let's become business partners, all of us. That'd be really cool. What do you guys think of that? That's an offer I'm making. You can contact me at Don
there we go.
At imagosfilms.com. It's DON at imagosfilms.com. Leonard can tell me if that's the worst idea. I don't think it is. I think it's pretty great. That's my piece.
That's pretty cool, Don. That's a pretty cool and interesting idea. So we'll definitely talk about that and do whatever we need to do to implement that.
Yeah, cool.
That's pretty cool.
Great. Can you do me a favor? Can you minimize me?
Can I minimize you?
Yeah, minimize me. I gotta take a quick phone call. This is the worst. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna minimize you and I'll kill desktop audio, so it's just me. All right, everyone, this will be a great opportunity for me to thank our super chatters. Blackleaf, thank you for the $5. He says, insulting a federal judge, bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Cloud Matt, $5. Way to keep it classy. Revenge might feel good, but the high road is the better way. Very happy to see this ended civilly. Vamp Faye, $5. Her being on SSD is a major wrench. You can't attach wages unless it's a tax, government, student loan. You can't collect anything. Same person, Vamp Faye, $10. From someone who's got illness issues, I'd also hope she gets the help she needs, but you can't get blood from a turnip. Just glad Don and company can recover. I'll help any way I can. Sonia Waffles.
Internet is coming.
Okay, hang on. Internet's coming. Yay! Hang on, I'm going to mute you for a second. Or you just... Yeah, hang on.
No, that was it.
Sonia Waffles gives $10.
20 minutes. So we're good.
Okay. Sonia Waffles gives $10. As both a trans individual and a disabled individual, I can't help but shake the association with Alex. She doesn't represent all of us. Thank you, Leonard, Don, Sid, etc. And Sonia, that was very important to us. Yeah. This was not about being trans, and we don't know why why Alex was so intent on bringing that into this. No. It feels like the hammer and nail problem. If all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. It feels like that's what Alex had, so she decided she was going to try and leverage that.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I find I've read some statements about things that I may have done or said that I never did or said. If you know me, you know that I have this sort of Gene Roddenberry vision. I don't know why we're still doing stuff. And some of this stuff is annoying to people. Like, I don't know why we're still smoking cigarettes. I don't know why that's a thing. We know if they kill people, we should not do that. I don't know why we have the ability to murder people instantly. I don't like that. So if you want to find something terrible about it, find that. But also, I don't know why we still differentiate people by culture and race and gender and all that. That doesn't make any sense to me. It never has, not since I was an ideological little kid. And I don't get it. I feel like I want to teleport 1,000 years into the future when we've worked it all out, because right now it's a big mess. And I think I think it's wrong. And I think it's deplorable to leverage someone else's suffering for your own accord. And I'm not saying that I think that's necessarily the case with Alex, but I do think that this was a case of, if it was true, if it was 100% Imagos being the worst, and we took all the stuff and we wanted all the money, and man, it's the best. If that were the case, it still would have nothing to do with gender at all. And I don't understand why that's been made. I don't understand why that's been made something like there's been attempts for people to band together about that against us. And worse, because it's way more prevalent than that, is people banding together on that against Alex. I don't think it's bad. This is my personal opinion, obviously, but I obviously don't think that it's bad to have an actual, like, to try to find the gender that you're stuck, to try to get away from a gender you don't feel you're appropriate with, or to find a gender that fits you, or to just live whatever life. Man, as long as you're just happy and everybody's happy, I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why we can look at somebody else and see any of their choices, as long as they're not affecting us or hurting us, why those are bad choices. I don't understand. So I think that if you want to find some terrible shit about somebody, I'm pretty sure people do terrible shit. And I'm pretty sure in this case, there was enough shit there that had nothing to do with gender that we could have called out. I, of course, am not calling any of that out, but I've seen a bunch of people call out a bunch of stuff, and it's always attached to the trans thing. I don't think that makes sense. I think that's horrific. And I wanted to...
I agree.
I forgot the name. I apologize of who donated that. I was just walking back in. But
Sonia Waffles.
Sonia, thank you so much. That's incredibly awesome to hear. And I want you to know from the deepest place of sentimentality I can find, or the deepest portion of my heart that I can dig it in. I appreciate your comments, and I appreciate you as a person. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate Alex and Alex's ability to do work. Her talent is undeniable. I think that there's some horrible stuff that's happened, and I don't know how that gets fixed, or if it gets fixed, but none of this has ever been and will ever be. I mean, this is not a question. You know why? I think there's never been a statement from Alex about how I'm anti-anything, because there's just a million billion writing. I have a million billion writing of me talking to Alex when she first told me about it, and being supportive, and offering money, and offering to support a clothesline, and offering just all kinds of stuff. So that's an undeniable thing. You can look at that and just say, oh yeah, here's like years and years of Don being genuinely a good person in this regard. So I think that's why I've always found it weird that people attack her and attack us about this, but she has never attacked us about this, because you can't. It's not a thing. It would be really weird to do that. Anyway, that said, I think I don't think we should attack anybody. I think attack is out. If I wanted to attack, I think we had a legal standpoint to do more damage than we did. I think we got what we needed, and I think that we should all. I think we should all be much better people to everybody, honestly. I also think, man, sorry to jump in. This is no longer associated.
No, you're fine.
But I just want to say one more thing about that. Like, I think it devalues someone's personal value. That's lame to say it that way. I'm sorry, my English is gone. I think it devalues somebody's personal stance when somebody's only statement or only answer is some extreme. I think that's what gets us as human beings.
Yeah.
I think that if you want to find a bunch of terrible stuff about me that make me not your best friend or not the best person, I'm sure you can find all kinds of stuff that won't work. I know that I'm super loud at parties. I don't drink, and I hang out. You know, I don't like hanging out the way people hang out. I like to play games and talk about physics, and everything else is kind of annoying to me. I'm sure there's a big laundry list of things that I know that I don't know.
Some of that sounds very familiar.
You can find. I'm not saying I don't know, like I don't know. I'm saying, like, do I go through a giant list of things I don't like about myself? But none of them are I'm trying to take over the world and ruin artists' lives or whatever else. don't go there. Don't go there with Alex. The reason I'm mentioning myself is because I wanted to get to, don't go there with Alex. Don't think that Alex is sitting there mwahahahaing. I don't know what Alex is doing and won't be able to speak to what Alex is doing, but I don't think any of us are in, I don't think most of us are indelibly, inherently evil. I think we're trying to do stuff. And I think that if somebody gets on the wrong track and thinks that's the right way to go, then you have to respect that. And you have to look at what somebody's doing and saying and say, oh man, you're super wrong, but I need to see how you got there because you're a human being and you deserve that. And I don't think we got that. I think I've been hearing the voicemail that Alex left Leonard and reading the emails that Alex has sent to other people. I'm not me. I'm not Don Thacker. I'm an icon. I'm a giant beast that she's created that has all these features that, man, I wish I had some of them because I'd be a better business person. I wish I, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have any of those features. I'm not that person. And I'm not what she's describing. So I can't look at her and say, she's personally against me. Now, when other people who've worked with me in the past, or my ex relationship or whatever, they all flare up and like, yeah, I can see how we can turn it into that. That's trouble. That's dark. I'm not saying anything about those people. I never would. I don't think that's okay. I think it makes most sense to look at people as people, and we're all. Tell me yesterday, were you perfect yesterday? Did you wake up perfect yesterday? Was it the better you?
No, I'm not going to go to bed perfect either.
Because yesterday you had it for the one time in your whole life. None of us will be perfect. We're gonna keep trying, all of us. I'm here trying. Everybody's trying. So just keep trying and know that other people out there are trying. And it might not make sense to you. It doesn't make sense to me 90% of the time. I hate to talk about this. I was diagnosed with being on a spectrum a couple years ago, and I recognize that I'm not necessarily connected directly to how everybody responds to things and how everybody understands. I don't have the same social cueing that everyone has. So my response to that has just been to sort of like attack life. Hey, life, I'm big and loud and crazy because I don't understand most of what you're saying all the time. And it has nothing to do with me being stupid. I don't think I'm stupid, but it does have an actual diagnosable thing. And I think that because of that, I didn't know it was a thing until my adult life. And I realized, oh, that answers a bunch of questions for me. It also tells me that the people I didn't understand, they weren't wrong. I just didn't understand them. And if they don't understand me, I'm not wrong. They just don't understand me, man. And I do think that we're generally great people, all of us, and we're really trying. And if you want to attack something, attack the scenario, don't attack the person. And definitely, even if you want to attack a scenario, stay away from any Alex Mara scenarios. Let Alex be. Let Alex have a life. We're going to try to have our life. Hopefully that works.
All right. Thank you for that, Don.
Sorry. That was a big crazy.
No, you obviously have, it has. We were just saying it. It's a very energetic, stressful thing. And so you've got a lot to say about it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Let me finish my thanking my sponsors here. We have a bunch of super chats real quick. Oh, no worries.
It's probably one of the reasons.
It'll be real quick, and then we have one or two more things to do. Charles Rogers gives $15. Glad to see the goals of the settlement were reached. Imagos rights were protected. Hopefully, the grace and civility shown by you guys will be returned in kind. Pulak Kumar gives 140 rupees. I think those are Indian rupees, and he writes an expletive about Alex's calling the judge an idiot.
Yes,
Can't read that, but
call the judge an idiot, no matter.
Don't call the judge an idiot, no matter what. Some cartoon chick gives $2. You seem super nice, Don. Do things your way.
Thank you.
Declan Gallagher gives $5. Declan Gallagher gives $5 British pounds. The people of the pretend nation of Finland are behind you. I think those are British pounds, but I was expecting a different currency. He gives another $2 and says, in the next generation, men wore short skirts. I miss those times.
Nice.
Casey N gives $5. Well played, Case. Good job. And John Diaper gives $50. No message. Thank you all very much for your donations.
I'd like to point out how weird it is when I'm thanking you guys for giving some other guy some money.
Also, I want to thank my now December video supporter, DJ Gilcrease. DJ, I'm going to reach out to you. Let me know if I'm mispronouncing that or anything, and we'll go over what you would like as a video for your donation. I have $50 plus supporters for December: John Steele, Lydia Collinson, Weston Loney, Gavin Bernard, The Godslain, and Sean McNamara. And the $5 plus supporters are scrolling on the blinking panel behind me that I will figure out how to stop flickering someday. I thought I had fixed it today, and then it started flickering again. No idea. So, Don, is there anything else you'd like to go over? I think we're going to play some Starr Mazer here to play us out.
Starr Mazer DSP, because I haven't given you a bill.
DSP, yes, I know. I keep abbreviating it. Those are two properties: Starr Mazer DSP and Starr Mazer proper.
Right. Cool. No, that's great.
So yeah,
let me see. I don't know. Thanks everybody for your continued support. It's been really cool. Those of you who I've talked to in the Discord channel, thanks for being awesome. It's been really cool to have some support there. Those of you who have been vitriolic and mean, stop it. It's terrible. But everybody else,
yes, please.
Amazing. I don't know. Like we need to recover. I don't know how to do it appropriately. I've talked to publishers and stuff. I don't know what's up. I was thinking maybe a Patreon or some kind of thing. I don't even know how any of that works. If anybody wants to step in, help us out, that would be really cool, because I'm trying to make a game. I'm trying to make some movies to keep the companies open. So if you want to be part of that, also that's the offer was not a joke. If you are in any way associated with any of our stuff or anything to do with us, contact us. We'll get into a business relationship with you, and I think you'll get all the protections and rights and everything that go along with us, and it'll be great. Let's keep that up if we can. I'm sure Leonard will give me an idea of what we need to do to make that happen. So do that.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be a problem.
What?
I think the settlement already covers them, but I agree that would be an extra layer of protection. Yes. Yeah. So that there is a written relationship between everybody, so that the settlement agreement applies to them too. That's actually a really great idea. So mind, guys, I had built that language in there, and you took it the extra step. That's pretty cool.
This is not just for people who we've done contracted work with either. Imagos relies on its social equity, which has been vastly damaged by this, obviously. So if you made one YouTube video regarding any of our products, contact us. You are our friend. You can be part of our company somehow. We'll work it out. We'll work out how that works. I'm not sure beyond saying that what that means. We'll work it out with Len. But yeah, that's that. Also, I just wanted to thank everybody again for being really cool. You guys have been really great. If you want to follow me on social, my personal Twitter is SkinnyTie. That's SKINNYTIE. I think my Facebook director page is like Don.K.Thacker or something. My publicist is having me get away from Facebook, and she's going to run this whole social thing, which is weird. And then I follow Imagos Films. That's IMAGOSFILMS on Twitter. Imagos Softworks as well. Starr Mazer, of course, for updates. And if you want to talk to me, if you want to ask me questions, if you want to whatever, I'm available. I would love to talk to everybody that I can and be as open as I can. We've been super transparent about it. Oh, I wanted to say, let's skip that. We'd be retreading stuff. I don't know, guys. Thank you so much, honestly.
We probably covered most of it. We did receive 3 more donations. Salvage Bar, $5. Don, you are a passionate man. It takes your passion to drive any big project from start to finish. Jonathan Luoto, €6 from the real nation of Finland. The Grim Gary, $5, and hope to see you all at PAX East at the Indie Mega booth.
Nice.
Sergeant Crispy gives $10. Glad everything is working out. Go forth and kick ass.
Thank you. We will. We're gonna do that, and it's hard to kick the ass we're trying to kick. We're trying to kick both games industry ass and films industry ass, and both those asses are wide asses that have been kicked plenty of times by other people. We're gonna try to kick it the best. So thank you very much for your support. We really appreciate it. Yeah. Also, keep your eye on StarMazer.tv. If you haven't subscribed, I know we haven't posted anything on Twitch there a lot. We will, though. So subscribe up. Go get ready and get notifications. So as soon as we go live the first time, and it's all awkward, we don't know how to do anything, and everything's all screwy for the first hour, you'll love it. It'll be great. I'll be there. And we have giveaways, and we have all kinds of cool stuff, and guests, and whatever else. It'll be the same great StarMazer TV, just probably less of it when we first start, and maybe more of it when we get going. We'll see. Also, if you're interested in well, I don't know, whatever. The social stuff will have all the stuff. So I don't want to keep going.
You're fine. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Don, I'm going to take you out at this point. So say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much.
And from here, I thought we would spend some time playing some Starr Mazer DSP. It is a very hard game. And I don't expect you all to hang around and play, but I thought it would be fun to give it a go. So give me a second to launch Steam and Starr Mazer. And I'll put chat up here on top so I can see you guys somewhere. Where's chat? Where is... There you are, chat. Thank you all for joining me. The case is over, LapTech. The case is over. Let me just move things around here for a second. Alright, we're all set here. Let's try some Act 1.
Time for some alien scum to get an apology accepted. Push the Gel invasion force back.
The new music is pretty cool. This is new music that was created without Alex. Don had to pay for new music to be put in so that Alex is just another avenue for resolving the dispute. If Alex's music wasn't in it, then no one could accept a DMCA complaint from her. So it was just one way that we were trying to get control of the situation.
Your weapons are now level 3, maximum damage.
Please feel free to post any questions you'd like. I realize that we didn't have a huge question and answer section, but I really felt like Don went over everything pretty much completely. But I'm willing to answer any questions if anybody wants to ask. Alex's music, I don't have any official thing I can say, but we have the right to put her music back into this game. Which is to say, the music that she contributed, not music that belongs to her. The music never belonged to her. That was always our position. The document that she signed says that she has no claim to her contribution to our game. Yeah, meow level 3. Ah, no! I'm very bad at this game. And I've played it for like 6 hours now, 7 hours, if you count this morning. Didn't Malcolm Gladwell say you should be an expert at something within 10 hours? Or was that 10,000 hours? I definitely think that's a possibility. There's also the consideration of not wanting to, you know, poke the bear, as the saying goes. Don't annoy the sleeping giant. But in this case, we have all the paperwork in order, and it's just a matter of whether she's going to, again, violate the agreement. But we were whittling it down here. There's only so many places that we can go to before the judge has to agree that there's nothing else we can do, and that he has to issue some kind of order. Like, additional order. So, she hasn't done anything yet, aside from tell the judge he's an idiot.
I beat it.
Oh! So, for 90 days or so, the current judge still has jurisdiction, and then after that, a state court judge would have jurisdiction. We would basically just walk into state court and ask the court to enforce the settlement agreement. The court would want to hear about it from the beginning. The court is not a court that deals with copyright. They would not like that they have to deal with this. There would be very little patience for Alex, I think. I have had to go to court to enforce settlement agreements before, and I know what I'm doing there. I'm confident that we would be coming out on top of that. Probably wouldn't even be terribly expensive, and Alex would get hit with the costs of the breach as well. So there would then be a judgment. So she's basically, we set her up that if she decides to, she can hang herself, metaphorically speaking, of course, with the you know, by violating the agreement.
That's for me. Not at all.
She has to pay for any breach of the agreement, basically.
Get back out there.
It would be fees. It would be attorney's fees, costs, damage. Oh, I don't know why I bought into the hyena pack. Or wolf pack, excuse me. I can't afford anything from it. That was stupid. Oh well. No, this is why I suck, because I can't pay attention to one thing at a time. If I could focus, I could probably do pretty well at this game. But you know. So Imagos won. And the case was settled. We won in the sense that she agreed to our terms. It was a favorable settlement. It was not a we pay Alex or anything. No money exchanged hands. No benefit was conferred to Alex. Alex is not even allowed to say bad things about us. And I don't even mean in the defamation sense. I mean in the anything at all sense. So she's got to be very careful or she's going to find herself in court again. So if she would like it to be over, then it needs to be over. And yes, the settlement agreement does cover affiliates, and Don had made an announcement today. I didn't even know about this. This is pretty cool. That Don wants to use our legal, you know, ability to make relationships with whoever we want to make everyone officially affiliated with Imagos who wants to create content, so that the settlement agreement also applies to you. I say the settlement agreement probably also applies to you anyway, but this would make it a seriously better level of protection. So contact Don or contact me, and we will find a way to put it in writing that you're an official, approved content creator affiliated with Imagos Softworks. And that way everybody's protected. So Sid Alpha can sign that or whatever, and no obligations, no nothing weird. Just something to make it so that the settlement agreement applies to you guys too. Or applies more strongly. Oh, for being an 8,000 credit pilot, this is a pretty good pilot. Ooh, those are gonna be good.
Never seen anything like this before.
Almost didn't move fast enough there.
Just a scratch.
Oh! How am I still alive? Oh man, no! Bad land. Not what I wanted to do. Oh, and yes, there is still, talk of me being a voice actor for the game, and something I forgot to have Don talk about was that I'm going to be continuing on as their lawyer. So, one of, or if not their general lawyer. So, yay. General counsel, I think, was the word that was used.
Off the planet, soldier.
Oh yeah, Sid, definitely. I hope you heard that part about the agreement thing too, because that should apply to you then. The disparagement applies forever. Yowza! Oh! Thought I was gonna get away.
Don't curl up just yet. The gel will not stop their assault.
Oh wait, at least I got a nice score. I'll open up the hyena. Thank you, Reverend Christopher Perkins.
This pilot has an unlockable weapon. He's pretty pricey though. This pilot looks impressive. Hey, let's go! Hey, ready.
There we go. Yeah. Yes, I believe I'm getting my own pilot character in the game. But we'll see. I'm not, no obligation.
Push the Gel invasion force back.
Look how the background moves up and down as you move up and down. Really 3D.
They're coming from above the clouds.
Doing better this time around. Of course, now I say that I'll be jinxed. Oh, the attraction rating. I didn't even know that existed. Oh, I see. Whoa! Got him.
Never seen anything like this before.
Yes. Yes, I did.
They keep coming.
1, 2.
I just got my painted, man.
Oh, I didn't get any of them.
I regret nothing.
Oh shit, I was reading chat. You can't do that.
I got this so hard. Fight off the planet, soldier!
What even is my secondary? Oh, okay, that one. Ooh! That was close. Yowza!
What the hell is that shit? Whoa, just missed me! Here it comes! Are you ready? Yeah! They're all dead! Nice.
Alright, we still got 2 pilots left. The 1 pilot and 1 pilot.
That guy's new! That was a close!
Oh, shit. This is the one that I don't want to run into things.
One shot, one
It's like
kill!
all the things to run into.
We've never seen these variants. The Gel must be making a new fleet. Watch your 6, pilot.
Yeah.
I got this so hard.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the asteroid guy.
Be careful of those asteroid chuckers.
Whew.
The Gel fleet is fast, beyond
Oh,
imagining.
shit. Yes, I got them all.
I penetrated their forward assault.
Oh.
Witness!
Ah, no!
We will not fall to the light of you.
Just in time for this segment with the asteroid chuckers. Whoa.
One shot, one kill.
There's 1,
One shot,
2,
one kill.
3. Just took a little while. Hey, we made it past part 2, stage 2.
Keep it up. This is the new spot gate.
And Drew, I don't know if you're watching, but I got your message and thank you.
Watch
very
out
nice.
for those plasma balls. What the hell is that shit?
Oh no. I remember not liking this part.
You missed a foot! It seems like the Gel have nearly infinite
Yo!
variation. I'm hit!
Yeah! Twice. This is always where I die. Those white things are so hard to see against the background. It's blue against blue. How am I supposed to see that?
Just yet, the Gel will not stop their assault.
At least I got 228,000. Buy into the wolf pack.
You look like
One of the available pilots has a new weapon to unlock. Check it out.
Let's take a couple. So what's the attractiveness rating? Which one's the attraction rating? Is that the D on the C on the bottom? No, because
good choice.
carbamide attraction. There we go. D, C. Okay, I get it now. So we really want to go all the way to the C's if we can. Okay, well we'll definitely buy her, but we're gonna buy her last. Get this one.
Hell yes.
This one.
Good choice.
And I guess
Let's rock.
this one. Check it me out.
One shall fall. Push the Gel invasion force back.
Oh yeah, they do actually converge quickly.
I hate to admit it, but they're pretty good shots.
That's really cool.
Above the clouds.
This is the beginning of the end of the stream, yes. Or we'll end the stream when I'm done playing Star Razor, I guess. Star Razor DSP. Yeah, and I guess I shouldn't play Star Razor for hours and hours and hours, right? Because if I play it for hours, then it'll all show up on the... Holy crap, I can't believe I survived that. It'll show up as like a 3-hour thing. I don't want to do that. So maybe I'll end this stream and switch over to Twitch. That's what I'll do after this game. After I die here, I'll end. This will end on a high note. I have an itch on my nose. We'll end on a high note. After this game, I'll switch over to Twitch. How about that?
We've never seen anything like this before, pilot. Good luck.
Yeah, I should probably not collect the mediums. I don't know, I'm in a habit of collecting the mediums.
They keep coming! Absolutely badass! They killed it!
Oh, hello. Nope, damn it.
Not going to stop me! Admiral, I've penetrated their forward assault!
Damn it.
Take this fight off the planet, soldier!
Yeah! That's what I get for trying to leave too many of those things on the screen. Somehow I'm not dead. Don't even know. Shield's gotta be getting smaller. Yeah, it is. Oh, there we go. now we died. 2 more to go.
For me, not at all. Whoa, what's that? Killed it.
Killed it. Oh, look at this score. Oh, this is a great score. Yeah, after this game, when I mess up this game and I gotta redo this score, I'll stop streaming and start again. Hopefully the game won't crash, because it doesn't like it when you tab out.
This is the Telkeen Supercluster.
And take a look at the shield system on the upper left. You start out with like a full shield, but then if I get hit, it'll go to like a metronome system. It's a really innovative shield system that I've never seen anywhere else before.
I knew. Whoa, close one.
There you go. Now you see my shield. It swings back and forth, and I only have shield when that line is on the shield part. The black part is non-shield.
One shot, one
So if I get
kill.
hit while the metronome's in the black part, then I'm not shielded.
Never seen these variants. The Gel must be making a new fleet.
Witness me!
Oh, there we go. See?
Watch your 6, pilot.
Experience the full force of the Corsi.
Yes,
fleet.
Flynn's
My
plea would
turn.
probably be sometime soon. Oh, what? That countered that as a hit? Oh, that's what I get for looking up. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of stories that I want to cover. Disney sued Redbox. Apparently, Redbox was selling the digital codes, allegedly, that you get when you buy a DVD or whatever, and you gotta buy a box copy of a DVD. So every time Redbox would get a hold of those, they would sell those codes, according to Disney. So we're gonna talk about that too. Last pilot.
Be careful of those asteroid chuckers.
That was close.
What hit me? Oh, I didn't even see anything hit me. Still got a little bit of shield left. We'll see, maybe we can get through it.
The Gel fleet is fast. Beyond
Thank you,
imagining.
Brian. Whoa.
You're making us proud.
I bet you didn't think I was going to clear that quickly, huh?
This is the Noomspot Gate.
Hate the
Watch out
Numspa
for
gate.
those plasma balls. They're a hive mind pilot. They all aim together.
Whoa, jeez.
It seems like the Gel
Oh, no,
has
no.
infinite variation.
No, not these guys. I hate these guys. Oh! Thought I would get him with the thing, but they got me first.
The Kell will not stop their assault.
Alright, we're gonna try this. We're gonna say... Uh-oh. Just moving my mouse, it crashed. There goes my high score. Oh well. Okay, so we're going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. Let's take that off and that off. And thank everyone for coming today. And I'm going to switch over to Twitch. So Twitch is, I'll post the link in the description. Hang on. It's all ready to go. And I just have to find YouTube chat again. There's the link to Twitch. I'm going to switch over there. That way this live stream isn't, you know, hours and hours and hours long. So thank you all for joining me. And I'll see you there. Also, Salvage Bear and Damon Redfield, thank you for your contributions. I appreciate you. And I'll see you on Twitch. Bye.